VAR, Video Assistant Referee. Those who are familiar with cricket, you can relate it with the third umpire who checks for any run out or any LBW, or even if a ball is boundary like 4 or 6. People who are not familiar with cricket, you can relate it with electric line judgment system in tennis, which checks if the ball landed over the line or just above legal. Also, NFL has instant replay. Idea of this system, this video referee, is to make things clear when the field referee or the pitch referee, or in cricket umpire, who cannot decide something right away. The video assistant referee or TV umpire or the electric line judge system, they help them to clarify the decision. In football, UEFA, FIFA and other football association has started this system for a few years now. The goal was to make it easier for the fans and the referee to clarify the rules and make decisions fair. However, it has not been the case. It has made football more confusing. Here's how. It's natural to have error in any system. These are electronic systems with humans behind the screen, so obviously there are human errors. There are many things that we fans don't understand. But when the number of error is too much and it actually divides the fan base, then there is some problem. You need to understand there is some problem. The problem with VAR is it hasn't evolved. It's still in its preliminary stage, even with all the errors. And some pundits are like, we should just stop VAR system, and some pundits are like, yeah, it's a good thing, blah blah blah, and so on. Now, UEFA themselves are very satisfied with the project. According to UEFA's referees committee chairman Roberto Rossetti, UEFA actually believes very much in this system, and their goal is to help not only the referees but also football. My question is, where? No, seriously, where are you helping the football? I don't see anything. Yeah, there are some stuff, but not entirely. Absolutely not entirely. Okay, first issue about the VAR. Offside, the most controversial issue. Now, as a female football fan, I have been asked by many, do I know the offside rule? So the offside rule is basically when a player, the attacking player, is in the other half, in the opponent half of the field, and when the ball is played to them, if they don't have any opposing player between them, including the goalkeeper, then we would call it offside. I don't think I make any sense with that, but that's the way I can understand it. I'm extremely sorry. Now, if you don't understand offside, you're okay. You're good to go. Because nowadays, when somebody asks me, do you know what's offside? You know what I say? VAR knows. I have no idea. Absolutely no idea about offside rules. Why us fans are becoming confused over the rules? VAR is supposed to clarify things to us, right? I don't see any clarification here. Now, if we see the games, the UEFA Euro 2020, we can see there has been many decisions which many fans would be like, no, that's not the right decision. That should have been a goal. Bad luck to you. VAR measures even millimeters, so can't get away. Now, if we look at it, why I say millimeter, in Belgium-Finland match of June 21. Lukaku scored a goal. It was disallowed after like I think 30 to 40 seconds because it was an offside. Now if you look at the clip, you can see he was this close, this much close of being onside. That was a millimeter distance. And if you watched my previous video, which many of you don't, not even my friends, I don't have any friends. My friends don't subscribe my channel. Yeah, I'm a sad person. Seriously, back to the video. If you watched my previous UEFA rant, you have seen that I was saying there that a player, when they're playing on the field, can't possibly understand or realize that they are millimeter away from the onside position. And that's impossible for even Cristiano Ronaldo. He's a effing goat. So how come it's not a goal? The thing about VAR is there are human referees on the other side of the screen. So if it's not an AI, then obviously the millimeter distance should be allowed, I think. Now you can say that there was only one example of millimeter distance. What are you talking about, renting Loli? Yeah, true, there was only one decision like that. But what about the time taken with the VAR, with the offside decisions? In the Welsh and Denmark match, you remember Gareth Bale's face at the last moment. They didn't deserve to go out that way. The VAR took around 1 minute or more to decide a goal at the very last minute, and it wasn't a goal, obviously, but it shouldn't take this long. It shouldn't make these players who are already devastated by the loss, it shouldn't do something like this to the players. It's a mental stress on the players themselves. Have some sense, UEFA. Have some sense, FIFA. And your system needs to be changed depending on how the situation is. Now let's talk about the red card. Now so far VAR didn't F up any red card issue. All the red cards were actually pretty legit depending on the rules, given the rules. However, there has been one incident where I would say it wasn't supposed to be a red card and the VAR should have interfered. Now, the match I'm talking about is the very recent Switzerland versus Spain match where Remo Freuler was given a red at the 77th minute. That wasn't a red offense, that was an yellow. The UEFA official referee, Mark Clattenburg, said that it wouldn't be a red, it shouldn't be a red, it should be a yellow at max. So if you look at the footage, you can see that the referee basically brought out the red right away. He didn't even hesitate, he brought out the red right away, showed it. Now, in previous instances, we have seen that the VAR did intervene when a referee showed a yellow to the player and the VAR asking them to check again and give a red. And each and every time it was a red offense. The yellow changed to red. Then why not now? Why the VAR didn't intervene this time? Because it was a red? Because it wasn't a clear mistake from the referee? The previous ones also not a clear mistake from the referee. So why not now? people are going to call these referees out. People are going to say the referees are sold out. But at this point, I think the UEFA itself is sold out. Another example where the VAR actually intervened, but he shouldn't have, was the Sweden versus Ukraine match. Marcus Danielsson, the Swedish player, was given a red at the 98th minute, which basically destroyed the team at that point. And Ukraine basically got away lucky. My problem is, why would the VAR intervene at that point? Clearly, if you look at the clip, clearly his total intention was for playing the ball. He couldn't keep his balance, so he basically hit the other player, whose name was Artem Besidin. But yeah, I understand that catching an opponent over ankle is a full-fledged red. I agree. Okay, red, fine, cool. But it could have been a yellow. It certainly could have been a yellow. He did not do anything intentionally. Understand the intention. You can clearly see. We are not referees. We can clearly see that there were no intention to hit the player, but he was given a red at that point because VAR said that. Why didn't VAR intervene in the Switzerland versus Spain match then? What the F? You do something in one match and then you don't do that in the other match. VAR is not there to ensure good business for UEFA and FIFA. VAR is there to ensure that the decisions are right, so the incidents like Maradona's goal scored by hand doesn't make a team champion, but it's the same. Now comes the decision on penalty. Now, penalty is always controversial, no matter who you support, because if you support this team, the penalty given to your team will always be opposed by the opponent and vice versa. I'm a neutral supporter. From my point of view, I think most of the penalties given were legit in this tournament, except one. I guess we all know which one. We will come to that later on, but first I want to talk about one that was sort of kind of penalty, but the VAR shouldn't have gotten involved with it. The first one is the Croatia versus Czech Republic match on June 17th. Here the penalty was given to the Czech Republic, Patrick Schick, who was fouled by Lovren of Croatia at the 33rd minute. The referee just kept the play going, and then he had to stop the game for a while because Patrick Schick had to get treatment because of his head injury. Right at that moment, the VAR asked for a recheck, and after the recheck, a penalty was given. No, it doesn't work like that. Why would you take 1 minute or 2 minutes to decide if it's a penalty or not? The referee already decided. You're supposed to keep it if you think you're not sure. If you're sure, then just do it right away. If you're not sure within 30 seconds of your decision making, then just don't bother. Now, yes, it looks like he was fouled badly. And when you look at the clip, you can see Lovren was jumping. He had absolutely no intention to foul Sheikh. His hand went up because he was jumping high above. Sheikh is a big man. If you want to jump above him, you have to lose your balance, and he lost his balance. Humans have hands, so the players should just cut their hands and keep it at home during the matches. That's what you mean? VAR? UEFA? FIFA? No, it doesn't work like that. And then there is the glorious clear penalty by England. Sterling was diving. Mela did not even touch him at that moment, and it was given a penalty. What is the point of VAR at this very moment? The point of VAR is to make sure there are no wrong decisions. What the fuck is this? This was a 100% wrong decision. Okay, you don't believe me? Arsene Wenger said that it's not a penalty. It was not a penalty. Now English fans would say, no, it was a penalty. It was a clear penalty. You guys are just sad. You guys are salty. Yeah, we are salty. Thanks for understanding. We don't want a fucking diver cheater to get into the finals. Denmark deserved it, and they just couldn't because of one decision. Imagine if the goal wasn't given, if the penalty wasn't given. England would have to go to a penalty shootout. And with your history, my honorable British fans, you guys are absolutely shit at penalty shootouts. Okay? Now you may say, oh no, in the World Cup, we won against Colombia in penalty shootout. Dude, Argentina wins against Colombia in penalty shootout. Don't think I'm a Brazil supporter. I don't like Brazil. This Brazil, I absolutely don't like. Previous Brazil, I admire them. Argentina, I used to support them, but now I don't like them either. Honestly, what are those? What is South American football? Is that even a football? Whatever. So, yeah, one decision can change a team's entire fate. So at this point, we need to make sure, what do you want, UEFA or FIFA? Do you want only the elite teams to go to the finals to win the tournaments, or do you want a fair football? I guess you understand what fair means. If you say that, yeah, it's not unfair, it's not unfairness, okay, I admit, okay, it's not unfairness, then what is it? Ignorance? Laziness? You need to change your system. Just because it's a technology doesn't mean it cannot have any mistakes. You change the mistakes, you correct the mistakes, you evolve with time. And what I see is VAR is nothing but a joke of a technology. It has divided the football fans. Some are saying VAR is good, some are saying VAR is bad. I was in the position where I used to say, no, VAR is good, there can be fair decisions, but after the entire tournament we are only left with the finals, but I don't have any hope on the finals, so yeah, there's that. But the thing about VAR is it should be there for the teams, for the players, for the fair matches, and I don't see any. Why is that? What are you guys doing to improve the sport. You're doing nothing. The only thing you care about is your business in certain countries. Many fans have been saying that UEFA is rigging the matches because they know that if this certain team doesn't win, their business doesn't go well in that particular place. If this team loses, then nobody cares. We fans care. And if you don't care about the fans who actually make this sport work, then I'd say UEFA and FIFA, you both have failed miserably. I would say my request would be, please evolve, change the system, make it better, improve it. There are versions of things. You can improve everything. You still have time until the next season. You have time until the World Cup next year. You can still make a change and you can still make it better, fair for the teams that deserve it, deserve a fair match, deserve a fair decision, deserve a fair win in the tournament. Football is not just about the elite teams. It's also about the teams that are making their way up, that are working their way up. Look at them. These teams, those players are going to lose their faith on the very sport you guys represent. That wouldn't be a pleasant thing to you or to us. I lost my motivation to watch the final because of that one decision. Do you think, you realize how many fans would be disappointed? How many fans are disappointed at that one decision? It's coming home. Really, English fans? It ain't, even if it's coming home, I don't give a fuck, because you're gonna lose it next time in like first round. What are you gonna do about it then? Nothing. You can't do anything. So, what do you think? UEFA did a great job, or UEFA did a horrible job? Do comment down below and like and subscribe. Do share my videos if you like it to your fellow football lover friends, and please ask them to subscribe my channel also. It helps a lot. My Ko-fi and my Patreons are linked in the description below. Please support me there if you can, obviously. I would be very grateful. Thank you so much. Bye bye.